Hi, my name is Kennedy Stoddart, and I did my final presentation over the painting Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grangette by George Seurat. And so about this painting is George Seurat was the painter. He was only 26 years old when he created this painting, and he made this painting. And it's known as one of his most popular and also one of his largest paintings. It is 7 feet by 10 feet, so it's very, very large. And this scene is actually a suburban park in France, and it is currently being displayed in the Chicago Art Institute, and it has been there since the 1930s. George Seurat was also a neo-impressionist painter, but he kind of had a different style of painting. For most of the paintings that he created, he used a technique called pointillism, which is just when the painter would just take millions and millions of little dots and place them all across the painting to create this painting. And so this is some close-up views of the actual painting. You can see the little dots that he created in order to create these figures. And how he did this and how he made it look so realistic was he used this technique called optical mixture, which is kind of science-y, and he even said, this was a quote by him that said, "Some see poetry in my painting and I only see science." And he said this because it took a lot of thought and a lot of detail to create this. So what he did, instead of mixing colors together, if he mixed like a blue and a red together or something like that, he didn't want to do that. He wanted it to look more natural, more like the colors that you would see in nature. And so that's why he used these little dots. So what he did would he'd place these dots together in a pattern, and then when your eyes looked at them, the light waves would come back and you would see these mixtures of colors that would look very realistic, but when you look up real close, as you can see, there are all these little dots. He also took 2 years to create this painting. It was painted in 1884, and he didn't finish till 1886, and that was because he would go to the park where he made this scene, and he would draw sketches, like right here. These are some of the sketches that he used. He would draw these sketches, and then he'd go back to his studio, and he would take the things that he liked and he saw from the day at the park, and he would draw and paint them into his painting. And it was not a painting that was very spontaneous or anything like that. He made sure that there was structure and balance. He made sure that the lighting and the lines were all in order. And there's just something about this painting that's just very structured. He didn't want it to be something that was just frivolous. And why this painting was very interesting to me was because I'll go back up here, there's just kind of a lack of emotion in all of the figures. They just almost look like they are just standing completely still, and it's almost as if like time is just standing still. There's nothing, there's no movement, there's no motion. All of the faces are just completely blank. And I think that's very interesting to me because there's no really story behind it, and there's a bunch of theories and everything, but there's not really an answer as to why there are all of these people and then there's no emotion being shown. So that's my painting. Thanks.